Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Fleetfieth and today we are playing Mount Blade II Bannerlord. This has been a game that I have been awaiting for a very, very long time. I played the previous games in the series, the original Mount Blade, Warband and with Fire and Sword, and I have been so keen to see this game be released. I have played a little bit of it just to get familiar with the game mechanics, but today we're starting a series on it. Now it is quite different to the original games, as the setup, the graphics and a lot of the in-game mechanics have been changed. So we're going to start off by choosing our character's culture. You have the Vlandians, the Sturgians, the Empire, the Aserai, the Khuzaits, and the Batanians. Each of these nationalities have specific traits and lore behind them. The Vlandians are they're people that came from over the seas, and I'm not going to get too much into the backstory. We can explain that later. We're more interested in these boosts down the bottom. There's 20% more upgrade XP to troops from battles from the Vlandians. To the Sturgians, 20% less speed penalty from snow, as they are northerners. The Empire, 20% construction speed bonus to town projects, wall repairs and siege engines. The Aserai, who are your more desert folk. Caravans are 30% cheaper to build and 10% less trade penalty. The Khuzaits, 10% extra speed bonus for horsemen. These are like your steppe nomads, your steppe tribes. And the Batanians, forests give 10% less speed penalty to parties. As we're going to go for a more military outlook on this playthrough, I think we will go with the Vlandians so we can focus on upgrading of our soldiers. We're going to jump in. Alright, our character. Let's have a look at his face. Oh, no, don't do that. That looks terrible. Alright. Yeah, that's a good face shape. And we'll go straight to hair. We'll change it to not that black, Jesus. Yeah, something like that. We want his beard to be a nice goatee. And for his hair, we will go something... Oi, nah. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're looking good. Alright, now we get to set up our character's backstory. We get to choose the family that they come from. Each of the choices have certain bonuses to these traits, all on the left. Now, they're all split into certain sections. You have Vigor, which is your melee combat, Control, which is ranged, Endurance is smithing, athletics and riding, Cunning is scouting, tactics and roguery, Social is trade, leadership and charm, and Intelligence is steward, medicine and engineering. Now, I do love my one-handed with a shield, or even two-handed with a bastard sword is nice. But I prefer to go for the more control for crossbows, arbalism. It's very much the playthrough, or very much my weapon of choice. Now we're going to have a look through, see which ones give bonuses to what I'm after. Yeoman does, but I have no interest in polearms. Hunters, here we go. Hunters give a bonus to the crossbows, and so does mercenary. I think we'll go with mercenary so we can get that roguery trait as well. Our early childhood. And again, what we choose over here is affects what's over here. So leadership skills, Your brawn, your attention to detail. Now this one's good because it gives us athletics and that little bit of one-handed that we're after, so I think we're going to go with that. Growing up, you spent most of your time town watch, maybe. I like that crossbow, but we will keep having a look through. I would like to get some in steward, because having a high steward level will allow us to control a large army. Alright, steward, there we go, straight up. There's a bonus to that. So working at the stables also gives us a boost to riding. Choose your youth. Stood with the garrisons, maybe a little bit of engineering, a little bit of crossbow, rode with the scouts, trained with infantry, joined the skirmishers, marched with the camp followers. None of them give us specific bonuses exactly to what we're after, so we will go stood guard with the garrisons. Young adulthood, defeated an enemy, led a successful manhunt, invested some money, survived a siege, a famous escapade, or treated people well. That gives us another bonus into stewardship, so that's what we're going to go with, along with a little bit of charm, which makes people like us a little bit better. Like many families in Calradia, your life was upended by war. Your home was ravaged by the passage of army after army. Eventually, you sold your property and set off with your father, mother, brother, and 2 younger siblings to a new town you'd heard was safer. But you did not make it. Along the way, the inn at which you were staying was attacked by raiders. Your parents were slain and your 2 younger siblings seized. But you and your brother survived because, did we subdue a raider? Or perhaps drive them off with arrows? A fast horse, maybe? Did we trick them? Or did we organise a breakout? I would like to think that we subdued a raider. That's what we did. And our name will be the only medieval name we ever need. We are Arcus. Now we are going to turn everything up to realistic because that's the way the game's meant to be played. Heroes are able to die on the battlefield and I want to allocate clan member perks myself. And so our story begins. Brother, it's been 3 days now we've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue Varric and Alda? Are we up for a fight? Now, we have a choice here as to whether we want to train in these training fields or just get out and at them. Now I wonder, when I played before, just to get the use of the things, I went like this and we split up. If I do this, I wonder if I get to keep my brother, because in the other one you don't. But we will see. We're just going to skip the tutorial and... Okay. Yes, we're just going to skip the tutorial and jump right in. Alright. This is just about the first quest. A few hours after you leave the training ground, you come across a wounded man lying under a tree. You share your water with him and try to dress his wounds as best you can. He tells you he's a travelling doctor. To thank you for your help, he hands you a small bronze artifact which he says was once given to him in payment by a warrior who said only that it was related to Neretz's folly. He suspects it might be of great value. You resolve to find out more. We are the Black Mane family. My name is Arcus Blackman. And now we get to choose our flag. And I've already got this picked. That is our flag. There we go. Right, let's get on with it. Now, my system has a little bit of trouble dealing with this game. It is still in early access. I have had to lower a lot of the settings just to be able to run it. But that is okay, we shall do what we can. Now, we have come to a village named Tevia. In Tevia, we're going to buy some products. We're going to buy some food. We are going to buy a thing of cheese. I wonder, can you use sheep as pack animals? I don't think you can. And we're going to recruit a troop, which I believe allows us to carry a little bit more as well. So that will give us 50 days of food so far until we get more soldiers. Now, for those of you that don't really know much about the Mount and Blade game series, basically the game is set in a medieval land that's very, 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 very loosely based on Europe. There are some very similar names and a very similar layout. Up in the north, that blue section, they're the Nords, which you'd consider your Norsemen, your Vikings. In the south, you've got your more desert tribes, what you'd consider your Arabs or your Northern Africans. In the east, you've got a very Russian style, kind of, they're like the steppe nomads before the Russian Empire. In the centre, you've got they're called the Empire. There's 3 different wings of the Empire. They're all at war with each other. And this is a lot like the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire. In the far west and the northwest, you've got Druids, which are a lot like your Celts. And then in the west, you've got, I don't know, like your French, English kind of people. The game is very, very diverse. It's very sectioned out. Oh, that's right, I forgot we've got some stuff in our character sheet to do. So this is our character sheet. This gives us all of the nice juicy things we get to walk into, learn into, stuff like that. So we've got some things to skill up in. First of all, we're going to smash a focus point straight into stewardship. And we are going to get tax collect. Money or influence. We're going to go influence. It's more important. Your quivers will have +2 arrows. Your throwing weapons will have +1 arrows. I don't use throwing weapons. I use arrows. Crossbow. Reload crossbow 10% faster. And this one-handed damage increased by 4. Hit points increased by 3. We will go with the extra HP. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at our quest. Rebuild the clan. These are all the things we have to do to satisfy rebuilding the clan. They do, you know, you have to actively work on them. Once you get to clan tier 1, you can actually start getting some things done. And Neretz's Folly is that quest we picked up before. We can do that just by talking to lords that we come by. Now we're going to stop in at Amitatis, or whatever the hell this is called. We're going to see if we can recruit some troops. We can't, so we're going to go to the tavern and have a look and see if there are mercenaries. Now mercenaries are very powerful, but they can also be quite expensive. So we'll do the little tutorial thing there. Imperial townsman. Alright, so there are some mercs. Ooh. We've also got a companion. We're just going to quickly scoop through all of this. That's a lot of money, but a companion this early could be handy. Nah, I think we will skip over the companion and we will look at the Oh, I mean, you're only $100. Alright, we're going to head out. Now that is one thing, because of the way how big and chunky this game is, it's in early access as well, so it's not perfectly, you know, set up yet. It's all not perfectly optimized, and my system isn't the best of the best. We can talk to you, and it will be about Neretz's Folly. We will have some frame rate issues, we will have a little bit of lag, loading screens might take a little bit of time. It's just something we're going to have to work with. Now we're talking to Garios, who is the Lord of Komnos. We're going to go, what is Neretz's Folly? It talks about a grand battle, which is somehow related to Neretz's Folly. I don't know the answer, I did not get that far. We're going to come in here. We got still no troops to recruit. That is okay. We will go to the tavern and once again have a look for some mercs. Empire townswoman. Athatka the Black. Oh, nah, I'm not paying that much. Not 800 gold, not right now. Expert thug. I'm looking for a master. Yeah, you're $75. Come on then. Alright. And once again, we will boot off. Now, I do want to have a look in the arena. Or in the arenas of every town we go past. Because if we can find an arena, some have tournaments going on, which we can engage in to earn money, honour, and other such things. Now we are going to run around and focus on recruiting soldiers. We will need a lot of them to hit our targets, recruit troops. Because at some point we will have to start laying waste to villages and causing general havoc. I want those bandits. Now, I'm making the assumption that these guys are going to be joined by... No, possibly not. Fight me if you dare. Nope, it's just us. Let's go, boys. Maybe they thought that someone was going to join them. They were, however, too far away. Now the combat in this it's pretty similar to old Mountain Blade games, but you do get a little bit more choice as to how you set everything up.
Move! Turn! Look that way! Move!
They're throwing rocks at us, the bastards. Now, unfortunately, we didn't start with a crossbow, but that's just the nature of the beast. Well, that was easy. Quickest level I've ever gained. Now, like I said, we are going to experience some frame lag and whatnot. As you can see, we already are. Oh, I just gained another level, Jesus. Right, hopefully we didn't lose too many soldiers there. Hopefully they're just wounded and not dead. Right, I don't need any of them. We did lose a couple of soldiers there, unfortunately, but it seems we have some loot out of it. Now, we don't want to use the falchion because they're just not worth it. That Western short spear is worth a bit of gold, so is the falchion, so we are going to run with them. None of those is much better, so we're going to keep on the move. I still don't know what that little button means. No troops. Okay, buy products. We are going to sell all of that to you. Do you have the gold? Yes, you do. We will buy a little bit more cheese and some grain. We will send that one back. So yes, we are going to spend a lot of time running around, working on building up our, well, I say our army, our battalion. We won't be an army for quite a long time. Building up our battalion and generally starting to make a name for ourselves. Now this will take time, as it's not a straight cut game, but that is okay, it's the way it's meant to be played. Additionally, we're going to be spending a lot of time working on leveling up soldiers. Now this can be done just basically in general combat. Now I am going to have a quick look here for a crossbow. They are currently worth 22,000 gold, so we are going to step the fuck back from that. And we're going to have a quick look at the arena. There is a tournament going, so we will join in. Now doing this, we can set bets, engage in the tournament, and make ourselves a little bit of money, a little bit of renown, and a little bit of honour. These are all things that will help. Now we are going to set a small wager of 50 gold, assuming that we actually get somewhere in this match, and we are going to join. I have a sword and a warbow. Right, he's down. Little bit of a bug there with their combat system, but that's okay. Got him. Got him again. Come on, mate. Got him. And that's the way we do it. Right, so we're going to skip their round and join in.
For glory!
Oh, I just got cut down. That's a shame, but it happens. We are brand new and we have no skills. Skip that round, and unfortunately we weren't able to have a win, but we would have got a little bit of experience out of it. That is okay. So we are going to leave now. We've got to have a look at our character as we did level up. We're going to keep focusing on pushing into Steward. Now, putting focus points into a certain skill increases the speed at which you learn that skill. Steward's very important because it's going to allow us to field a much larger fighting force. That is what we're going to want if we are going to play a military playthrough of Mount Blade Bannerlord. Recruit troops. Here's a couple more for our army. We're going to leave. We've got 20 days of food. That is okay. We're going to head to Vathia and do the same again. And we're going to recruit until we can recruit no more. A lot of this game's time is taken up in travel, which is a bit of a shame because there is a lot of this game to explore. But it is part of this game's general charm. Once we have a large enough fighting force, we will start taking out trading caravans. Those are very good as they will allow us to get quite a large amount of resources to sell for money quite quickly. However, doing so will piss off the empire that we attack them, the empire that they belong to. We'll quickly stop in at the tavern and see if there are any mercenaries. Some arbalists would be very tasty, but a mercenary scout, townsman, Shavil Break Skull. Hello, Shavil. Yeah, nah. I won't be paying 721 gold. Sorry, mate. Just don't have the money. Why is it just they've all on their own? I need guys that are in groups of like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 because the ones on their own are just not worth it. Especially not for 375 gold, which is most of my coffer. Recruit troops. There's another one. And keep on the move up to Montos. We will now give chase to these looters. Hopefully we can catch them, as subduing them will give us a nice little bit of trade resources that we can sell off for some coin, which means we can keep buying troops and funding our army. Load times, am I right? Alright, F1...
Infantry!
1,
Forward!
2,
Hunters, move! Infantry! Make a shield wall!
Doesn't really help when none of them have shields, but that's okay.
Kill them all!
Let battle commence. So a little bit of lag. It's just something, unfortunately, we can't help. I fucking shot that arrow straight in his fist then. I don't believe we lost any soldiers. Oh no, we lost one. That is a shame, but it will happen. Now we can recruit these Empire peasants that the enemies must have had in their... we will upgrade you to infantrymen. They must have had them in their... as hostages, as... yeah, that thing. So there we go, we've got a full retinue now, which is exactly what we're after. We've also got a nice little chunk of loot, including a sumpter horse, which greatly increases our inventory capacity. That is perfect, it is what we're after. 644 for the mountain bandits. We're going to attack this hideout. We'll wait until nightfall to ambush, and then begin our assault.